You already know this is Pawn Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazon, a.k.a. El Maldito Borracho. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday a lot of people was putting out content talking about the recent interview that Deontay Wilder and his new trainer Malik Scott had with 78 Sports TV in reference to the comparison of Muhammad Ali, Deontay Wilder. A lot of people was furious, y'all. How dare y'all compare Deontay Wilder to Muhammad Ali? Get the F out of here. Who? Y'all crazy. What? What? Y'all what? Hell no. No. Hey, yo. I mean, look. We all know what Muhammad Ali was, man. The great, man. Arguably one of the greatest of all time. For a lot of people, the greatest of all time, man. Come on. Y'all know that. Deontay Wilder was never perceived as that. Not even in his own, it's arguably even in his own era. You know, a lot of people feel like Tyson Fury. A lot of people feel like it's Anthony Joshua. But let's not, but Deontay Wilder is top 3 right now. Top 3. But a lot of people is furious. Now, let me tell you like this. To me, no, you can't compare Muhammad Ali to Deontay Wilder. You can't. But you could compare one thing. You could compare one thing, and then you could compare it with a lot of great athletes, you know, in America. You could compare that Deontay Wilder in this era is hated like Muhammad Ali was hated in his era. Now, I'm not going to say that they going through the same thing. No. Different times. I'm just talking about hate. Is Deontay Wilder the most hated man in boxing? I think so. I just think so. Is Muhammad Ali at his time the hated man, the most hated man in boxing? Yes. So you could compare the hate, being hated. And let me tell you like this. When you hate it like this in the industry, in the sports industry, 9 out of 10 times it's because you're great. It's because you're great. Now, is the greatness comparable? Nah, the greatness is not comparable. The opponent is not comparable. The resume is not comparable. What you had to go through the outside, no, it's not comparable. No. What you got? What? Muhammad Ali couldn't fight for 3 years. They took his license away. Couldn't make no money. Couldn't go nowhere to fight. Couldn't get license nowhere. They stopped him. They trying to jail him and things of that nature. And of course, we know his story, so we're not going to go deep. So I'm going to stay in what could be compared. And the hate, the level of hate within their era, that's comparable. That's comparable. Just the hate. Just that Deontay Wilder is the most hated boxer right now in the sport of boxing. And in Muhammad Ali's time, he was the most hated boxer around his time. Beloved by his people. And Deontay Wilder is also beloved by his fan base. And I'm not going to say the black community, because there's a lot of people that don't like what Deontay Wilder took his loss with Tyson Fury and the allegation and the excuses that came after it. You know? And I think that rubbed a lot of people off. That enhanced the hate for Deontay Wilder. But the hate didn't start there, though. I remember myself. I had an experience. I went to the Erickson Lubin fight, Jamel Charlo fight in Brooklyn. And they put, and I explained this on one of my live shows. And Keith Thurman was there. Earl Spence was there. Deontay Wilder was there. And they put, when the camera put him on the big screen. And they put Keith Thurman after his performance with Danny Garcia, and they put him on the big screen, and they was booing him. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, why are they booing Keith? And then they switched over and they put Deontay Wilder, and the crowd was booing. And I'm like, time out, did he just knock out his opponent in this building? And I couldn't understand, because when Deontay Wilder was performing, the whole Brooklyn was light, was on fire. They loved him. But then I'm like, why half the arena is booing? I mean, what did Deontay Wilder do that the half of the arena is booing? And I'm gonna tell you like this: that was a how you say that fan base was for Jamel Charlo. That was I'm gonna tell you like this: in New York City and Brooklyn, that was a predominantly like a African American crowd. So I'm saying in my mind, time out. I mean, when Deontay Wilder come to Brooklyn, everybody loved him when he's fighting. I mean, and why are they booing? I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand the crowd. Like, why? I mean, what did he do to be booed like that? Just by him knocking people out? Now, this one you can't compare. Nobody never questioned the opponents that Muhammad Ali faced. You already know he beat Sonny Liston at the age of 22. Before beating Sonny Liston, before fighting Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali got dropped twice in his career. A lot of people thought that he was going to be killed in the ring with Sonny Liston. I'm going to tell you like this about greatness, because greatness is kind of tricky. And I'm going to follow it up with why the hate is the way it is, especially in America. Greatness is given its just due when you beat the odds in the ring. When you beat the odds, when you exceed the expectation, at least when you match your expectation. But really when you beat the odds, when you're the underdog and you ride the occasion, that's when greatness, that's when the fan base really gravitates to you and be like, yo, you are nice, you are good, you are special. If you beat people that people think that you should beat, then okay, good performance. So greatness is actually giving its props when they beat the odds. When a lot of people didn't think that you could do what you were about to do. When he beat George Foreman, when he beat Sonny Liston, two guys that people thought that it was going to kill Muhammad Ali. Now, I'm going to say this about American culture. American culture is the most toxic culture, in sports. So when you're hated that much, and you ain't do no crime and nothing like that, ain't slap your girl, whatever like that, just that you just hated by what you do in the ring, or what you do in the field, or what you do in the basketball court, that means you're good. We live in a very toxic, America is toxic, That's what it is. The best people is hated. Teofimo Lopez is hated. Canelo Alvarez, he's hated too. You know what I'm saying? Not to the point of Deontay Wilder, I'm going to say. Russell Westbrook, he averaged a triple-double, I never would have thought. I see with my two eyes a basketball player average a triple-double. Broke Oscar Robertson records. I would have never thought that. And any ballers would know that that's the hardest shit that you could have done. And what they said, he's stat patent. Almost like, hey, anybody could do that. Come on, he's stat patent. How we just take greatness away. If you Google right now and say the most hated athletes, Google the most hated athletes in America, and you will come to find out that the most hated athletes in America is actually the guy that's great in their respective sports. It's actually one of the best. I remember I Googled that a long time ago, and they had Kobe, they had LeBron James, they had Alex Rodriguez, they had Tiger Woods, they had Michael Vick. Now, of course, Michael Vick did his thing, with the dogs, but come on, hate it? The dog? I mean, hate Tiger Woods because he crashed into, and because he was cheating on his wife with porno stars, and he crashes his car into the Jeep. That's why you're going to hate Tiger Woods? Come on, man. A lot of you motherfuckers be cheating on your girl and shit like that. Man, gonna be a man. But all I'm saying is that, America is toxic. America just, it's unfortunate that we love, America, we love when you're coming up. We love you as a prospect. And as soon as you become a champion, we want to break you down. Nah, you ain't proved nobody. Who you played, who you fought. Nah, he ain't all that. We praise you. You see how we praise him, Boots Ennis, right? As soon as he hits as soon as he become a champion, people going to be like, but who did he fight? Who did he fight? And that's what happens to Deontay Wilder. And that's what happens to a lot of fighters. Who did he fight? Who did he fight? He can't box. He can't fight. So a man that knocks out a bunch of dudes, almost every dude that he ever fought, knock out or knock down, he can't fight. Quoted by Teddy Atlas, a guy that's supposed to know about boxing. Even though within your own sport you hate it. So you could compare the hate, but the hate is deeper. America just hates. And then when we break you down, we love the Cinderella story. That's when we want to lift you right back up. That's America. And that's Deontay Wilder. And maybe the best thing that Deontay Wilder actually did was actually losing, because now if he does come back and beat Tyson Fury in the trilogy, we already know he's the underdog. We already know that a lot of people don't feel that he can outbox Tyson Fury. A lot of people don't feel that he could beat Tyson Fury. So he's going to become as an underdog. And what I said in the beginning, how do you achieve greatness? When you beat the odds, when you exceed the expectations. This is going to be the first time for Tyson Fury. This is going to be the first time for Deontay Wilder to prove his greatness. Unfortunately, that's the way America works. We hype you, we tear you down, and now we want you to, come on, get up. And if you could get up, then you're great. Did that with Kobe. Did that with Mike Tyson. They try to break down Michael Jordan. You know? They do with a lot of athletes, man. They do with a lot of athletes. We want to see the Cinderella with Tiger Woods when he was coming right back. That's us. We're a bunch of haters. We're a bunch of haters. And it's not only towards Deontay Wilder, it's towards a lot of athletes. Even in the sport of boxing. Again. And it's not a race thing. A lot of people hate Paulo Malignaggi, all right? He Italian. A lot of people hate Paulo Malignaggi as well. You know? People hate Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest of all time. Floyd Mayweather. They hate Floyd. You know? It's just a hate culture. It's a disgusting culture. It's a hate culture. That's what it is. So if anything could be comparable, is Deontay Wilder the most hated boxer in the sport of boxing? I think so. And if you're going to compare something to Muhammad Ali, you could compare the hate. Yet not the level of hate of the powers that be. I'm not talking about the level of hate of the powers that be. I'm not talking about the hate that the government had towards you, because that's a whole nother hate for Muhammad Ali. Nobody could compare that hate. Well, I'm just talking about the word hate. That's it. Fans. But nobody, I think, endured more than that. Was just a different time, man. Those athletes suffered a different way. Remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They banned dunking for 13 years in college basketball for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's hate. That's hate. They banned dunking because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in college. 13 years. That's hate. So it was a different time when Muhammad Ali fought. It's a different time. It's a different war. It's a different battle. It's a different fight. Similar fight, but it's a way different fight, different time. I think what we need to do is stop trying to trash fighters and try to compare cemented legacy to guys that's still building their legacy. And at the end of the day, when you're debating all this, you're trying to trash whatever. I see people trying to trash Muhammad Ali. I see people trying to question Muhammad Ali's fight in and out the ring. Y'all need to stop with this debate stuff, man. Because all this is just trying to find, you're just trying to win a debate and trying to devalue or discredit each man. Different time, man. Both of these guys are great. But it's not questionable that who is the greatest. Y'all already know. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, get my updated videos. I love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.